Hello, everybody. Welcome. Today, we're going to be talking about case law. So, a little review. You knew that we were doing secondary research in the beginning to understand about the subject matter, understand what the issue is about. So we pick out a particular area of law, and then from there we do some secondary research to in legal encyclopedias, law reviews, Hornbook treatises, etc., as it says in our textbook. And then we build from there the terms of art, the right terms and connectors, the right words, so that we can build a research strategy and move on to try and find not only the statute or the ordinance that is the law, the primary law, but now we're going to find case law. Case law is the way that the court system has interpreted the statutes or the administrative law, ordinance or regulation, etc. And that is what we're looking for, because in the United States, it, unlike civil law in other countries where it is based on the statute and the code, we are based on common law or case law. So the basically the principle of stare decisis is comes to play. And stare decisis means that the law will stand. So if a prior precedent setting decision was made by a court, the new court must pay attention and obey and respect that prior court unless there is an error of law or an error of fact. And in that case, you would appeal it and it would change that precedent. But a precedent setting case is what we're looking for to be able to tell our client or our employer or our colleagues or whoever our audience would be why are the legal issue that we're talking about stands in this way and not in another way. So let's take a look at our module. And as you can see from here, it's going to give you a description of case law, and it's going to give you a little bit of an overview of what it will be included in the module. And then by the end of the module, if you see, this is going to give you an overview of what we're doing. And let's look at the learning objectives. You're going to identify if a case has been adjudicated in federal, state, or local court. You're also going to explain how cases are organized and the tools that are needed to find relevant cases. You're going to identify what the issues being adjudicated are and determine if it's a procedure or substantive in nature, and describe the elements of the law being decided in the case. Explain how and when certain cases are used or disregarded. So now this is the nitty gritty, basically. This is what we're trying to get to when we're doing legal research. We're going to not only explore the subject matter, and then we're going to get the statute or the actual primary law on this issue. Now we're going to look for cases that interpret how the statute has been issued, and we're going to look and see which ones have won, which ones have lost, and the reasons why, because in those cases, there are going to be elements that are going to be written or talked about by the courts that say, these are the elements necessary for this case to go forward, or for if these elements are not met, that case cannot go forward. You identify the case if it's whether our jurisdiction and venue. Remember, we started that from the very first chapter in determining whether we should be really adjudicating or litigating the case in state court or federal court or local court, depending upon what it is. And then you're going to basically tell us how the cases are organized and what are the tools needed to find relevant cases. So cases are basically organized usually by the issue, the rule, the analysis, the conclusion. That it tells us who the parties are. It tells us what the actual law or the rule that should be followed, and then it gives us an analysis of what those things are. Sometimes it gives us a counter argument, but it gives us again a repetition of the conclusion again at the end. And cases usually cite to other cases or to statutes in order for it to be a precedent-setting case. And you identify the issues that are being adjudicated. Now, remember, even from the beginning, our text tells us that there are two different things that are going on in every case. One is a procedure matter, basically when the issue complaint is filed, 20 days an answer is made. If an answer is not made, then you make a motion to have the case dismissed. If a motion to dismiss is filed, is there a counter motion or counter argument or an appeal, an answer to the motion, et cetera, et cetera. Those are the procedural matters. On the other side, there's the substantive law matters that are going to be talking about whether or not the case at hand is been a statute that regulates it. What are the elements? Have the facts in our fact pattern meet the same ones that are explaining the statute or the law? And then compare our case and our fact pattern to other cases so that we can convince the judge, the jury, or the administrative body that's is sometimes from administrative law, and convince them that our case is the best one to go with, depending upon what the circumstances are. Okay, describe those elements of the law being decided in the case. It will tell it to you right on the case. What are we talking about and why? Okay, explain how those in those certain cases are used to disregard it. Because again, if it's not relevant to the issue, let's say that one was adjudicated on a procedural matter. Let's say somebody failed to do something and it was not adjudicated all the way. It doesn't mean that that case was not good or that the issue, the substantive issues were not good. And that's what you're trying to explain. Now, as you can see from all of the different activities that we're going to be covered, it's all designed step by step to guide you in how to find the appropriate case law for your final research paper. Use the materials that you find here to incorporate it into your research paper as soon as you can. And remember to use proper citation formatting as you would for any legal product, because that's the way we're going to identify where to find them, etc. And the court will be able to accept it. And then look at the anatomy of a college case. What is it that is telling us? What is the heading? What are the judges? What are the parties? What is the history of the case? What does it stand for? And that way you can do that. Now, you can also do research through, again, the many links that we have in our book. And I just want to share with you again many of this material. So you can look for any Supreme Court case in the United States right here. It's free. And another one of those is SCOTUS blog, or the Supreme Court of the United States blog. It's a fantastic tool that gives you explanations and annotations on different subject matters of big court cases that are gone before the court. And online, you know that we have access. Oh yes is a very good tool, and it's auditory. Basically, they record what transpires in the court and they put it up so that you can actually listen to them and really get a feeling of what was argued and why. And then there's many other links, including links to cost-effective or no cost at all materials. Okay, I hope this is helpful for you. Now, again, there's many ways that you can understand the court system and understand what's going on. One of them, Maryland has this court structure chart that it's important for you to see. So for Florida, take a good look and see. Again, it's kind of good to refresh memory. Remember, the big court is the Supreme Court of the United States, and then the Supreme Court of Florida. And then we have the District Courts of Appeal. The ones in Virginia, West Virginia will be 6th Circuit. The ones over here will be 11th Circuit. The ones in California will be 9th Circuit, and so on and so forth. Texas, I believe, is 5th Circuit. And then, but those are district courts of appeal for different regions. But within the state, there are circuit courts. Circuit courts are the basically federal courts, and they listen to torts, contract for property, the $15,000 or above, miscellaneous, civil, writ, exclusive mental health, probate, estate, civil appeals cases, et cetera, et cetera. And then there are the state courts, which are the county courts, and then those are what they listen to, et cetera. This is important that you see. There's also a very detailed guide on how to understand those charts, understanding timelines. And there is also a very important tool on state court research. So you want to find out, when you're having a court case, who is the likely party to listen to your case. And so you want to find out who the judges will be, what their demographics are, and trying to find out really as much as you can as to how do they rule on cases like yours, and whether or not you should strategically try and find a different court. And there are many judge demographics. So for example, for Florida, it tells you, I clicked on Florida and it tells you right here, 341 of them are male in this county, and uh, 605 total. And then if you go by county, it gives it to you in more detail, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, there's a lot of tools like that that are very useful and helpful, and I hope that you will take advantage of them. Please let me know if there's any questions that arise so that I can help you, and and I'll be more than happy to help you. Thank you so much, and I'll be seeing you very soon.